There is no more argument. There is no more debates. I am the best MMA analyst on YouTube 2022. The results are in. The table has been made. The league championship table of MMA predictors on YouTube has been formulated. The numbers have been counted. The scores have been finalized. And who's sitting at the very top of the table? This guy. No more arguments. I'm the king of MMA YouTube 2022. And before you wonder, what are all those numbers and what do they mean? So let me tell you. The Fight Study is a channel on YouTube, and he made a video breaking down who is the most effective fight predictor and analyst on YouTube out of the major content creators. We've got myself, the MMA Guru, the Weasle, GC from Ariel Hawani's betting show on his show at MMA Hour, Michael Bisping, Nick Pete, for some bizarre reason, is included. Alexander Volkanovski makes the picks as well on the big fights. Josh Thompson from Weighing In, Israel Adesanya, Luke Thomas, Farah Sahabi, Chael Sonnen, Brendan Schaub for some reason is included in this. Veronica Macedo for some reason is included in this. BC, the co-host of Morning Combat, John McCarthy from Weighing In as well, and Dan Hardy are all involved in this tournament. And the way this works is, if you put $100 on every single one of our major fight predictions of 2022, how much money would you have made by the end of the year? You're looking at the champ, 257. Leader by 100, nearly 100, but I like to round it up to 100, okay? Nearly 100 points. The clear leader on the table, the MMA Guru. Now, well done, Weasle. Second place ain't bad. It isn't. We can't all predict both Leon Edwards and Alex Pereira to win as underdogs in championship fights. Only true geniuses would be capable of that. You know what I'm saying? We can't all get it right. You know what I mean? Some of us, some morons, picked Usman to beat Edwards. So yeah, second place for the Weasle. Not bad. GC, you know, you're literally a pro bettor. That's all you do is find out how to make good bets on fights. That's your main thing. I'm covering MMA news. I'm going live. I'm doing fight companions. I'm doing predictions. I'm doing like fights to make next videos. All you're doing is focusing on betting. Third place ain't bad for only focusing on betting. It's not bad. Bisping, one eye, coming in at number 4. Good job. Dan Hardy. Mr. This MMA Guru guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Last! What a genius! What an absolute genius Dan Hardy is, guys. Round of applause for Dan Hardy. Put $100 on every one of his major fight predictions, and you'll lose $559 by the end of the year. Round of applause for Dan Hardy. Even Veronica Macedo is better. Well done, Dan Hardy. What a genius you are. Honestly, dude. Amazing. Mr. Do a hit piece on the MMA Guru because he doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to MMA. Sitting at last place. I feel good about this, man. I feel real good about this. This is what it's all about. It's not about the money made on YouTube. It's not about the views. It's not about the subscriber count. This is what it comes down to. Who's going to make you money with their picks? I'm so egotistical about this, sorry. I woke up and I saw it and I was like, I've got to make a video gloating mercilessly. I wasn't going to make a video and I saw Dan Hardy in last. Yes! Yes, you fucking idiots! Fuck Dan Hardy. Luke Thomas. Genius. Thinks he knows what he's talking about. It's me and the Weasle. Top dogs. You know what I mean? Bisping can join. Nick Pete is somehow... Dude, Brendan Schaub did better than Dan Hardy. And Schaub literally just picks the big name star every single time that's more likely to come on his show. That's all he does. That's why he's backing up Paddy Pimblett right now. All he does is just side with the big name that could come on his show for an interview so he can keep a good relationship with him. It's all he does. And he did better than Dan Hardy's genius fight analyst brain. Now, I know this doesn't cover everything, you know. This doesn't even cover all of the fights. When it comes to that, I think I actually did a bit better this year because I've been keeping a consistently good record. When it comes to male fights, at least. Women's fights are a bit of a toss-up, but male fights, I've been doing pretty good this year. You know what I mean? But this is talking about the real big ones. The ones you're going to put your money on. The big nights. What it all comes down to. When the spotlight is on you. Okay? When it's game time. In the MMA analyst world. And everyone's getting their content checked out. Who are we going to pick? Usman or Edwards? Usman. And this genius comes along and picks Leon Edwards to win as an upset. Who are you going to pick? Adesanya or Pereira? No, Adesanya. Alex Pereira, of course. Where else are you getting these picks? Dude, I'm so happy Dan Hardy's at last place. After him saying, I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm not experienced, now I'm not the sort of guy that should be talking about MMA. I don't know enough about the sport to really be giving my 2 cents. Last place. Are you even trying? I think Dan Hardy's out to get people. Could be. You never. I don't mean to start a conspiracy here, but hey. Losing you 500. Is there a point in watching his content? Is there? You put your hard-earned money. You guys work. I remember working all day. And I wanted someone that I could trust to follow the predictions of. To make me some cash. I remember those days. I was there with you guys. Okay? Dan Hardy losing you $559 if you put down $100 on every one of his major fight predictions? Are you kidding me? Pathetic. Luke Thomas losing you 100. How could you be losing people money? This is your job. Your job is to break down fights. Volkanovski's a current world champion. And he's doing a better job than most of you. Nick Pete is retarded. And he's doing a better job than most of you. What's going on? Dan Hardy. I can't stop digging at Dan Hardy here. Oh, it's funny. I like it. But still, respect to Dan Hardy. He's trying. And it's cute. It is really cute. He's only been doing it for decades. I've only been doing it for like a few years, but only been doing it a few years. Dan Hardy's been in this game for like a decade or so, but sometimes he's cute. He'll get there. He'll start, maybe one day he'll only lose you $500 a year with these types of bets. You know what I mean? Like, he'll get there. Maybe one day he'll be above Veronica Macedo in terms of picking fights for an entire year. And maybe one day, if he keeps going, you know what, Dan Hardy, in the next decade, maybe he'll be above Brendan Schaub. Maybe. I don't want to get your hopes too high. You know what I mean? I know they say, tell every kid to shoot for the stars, and if they miss, they'll land on the moon. But I'm not going to try and convince you that one day you could be better than Brendan Schaub's genius at breaking down fights. But maybe, Dan Hardy, you start putting a bit of work in. I know you're very focused on not having that boxing match that you've been planning for the past 3 years. But you've got a lot of things on your plate, like not having a boxing match that you were supposed to have over the past 3 years. But, maybe one day you can get past the levels of Brendan Schaub and Veronica Macedo and BC, John McCarthy, and, Nick Pete. Maybe, I don't want, let's not get too crazy here. Let's not get too crazy. But yeah, there you go. I just wanted to make a video gloating about this, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am officially the best MMA analyst. Now, there are some people that are missed out here. For example, I understand that Mexican mixed martial arts was not included on this list. What's going on? He starts making content on Rumble, and all of a sudden, we ain't including him in the competition? Baloney. Okay? But if he is better than me, don't include him in the table because I want number 1. Okay, because I think he picked Edwards and Pereira. And I don't know what else he picked. So, if he did better than me, forget about him. Rumble, he made his bed. Let him lay in it over at Rumble. Who is it? Who did I just mention? I had no idea. But either way, number 1 MMA Guru. And I just want to make this very clear, yeah? This is what I love. There has been a stigma against us YouTubers on MMA. Okay? When we're breaking down fights, we don't know what we're talking about. Oh, he's just a fucking loser in his parents' shed. That's true. But doesn't affect my ability to call fights. Okay? I don't have to be a world champion. I don't have to be a former fighter. And you hear it from the Dan Hardys, from the other fighters like Adesanya and other fighters like that. They'll say, like, who is he to even comment on fights? And what do you know? Me and the Weasle are sitting at the top. You know what I mean? The YouTubers of the MMA world. But who are getting brought onto ESPN MMA? Who are getting brought into BT Sport? The people losing you money? Who are getting funded by Showtime to give you their intellect and their genius? Luke Thomas and BC? Losing you money over the year? How's that possible? Losing you money over the year. Imagine if I had lower than 50%. I'm sitting at a 65% prediction rate. Higher for the major fights of the year. But overall, including some like underdogs on the prelims and stuff like that, 65%. I'm making you money. These guys are losing you money. I think it's time we start including the real geniuses of this MMA world, like the MMA Guru, the Weasle, Mexican mixed martial arts, who did pretty well on some predictions this year, into the mix a little bit. You know what I mean? We ain't funded by the big shows. We ain't got BT Sport behind us, ESPN, Showtime, funding our shows. But we're doing better than everyone else. What gives? We got other stuff to handle. Weasel's scoring fights for you guys. You know what I mean? Weasel's doing MMA news reactions. He's still doing better than these analysts. What's going on? They need to up their game. These guys have been getting too comfortable, acting like the big geniuses on the scene, losing people money every year. But there's a change of the guard now. Okay? There's some new dogs in the yard. Okay? And I'm sitting at the top of the leaderboard. Dude, I was so happy when I saw this. So happy. I'm at the top. I love it. Because when I sit and listen, yeah, you have to give me some credit, guys. When I sit in chat and I see, lol, this guy's fucking picks. This guy's picks suck. Every single time I lose a prediction on my fucking live stream, all I see is, who even takes advice from this guy? You better take advice, because I'm the fucking best there is. And that might be sad. That might be sad that I'm the best there is, because in all honesty, I'm not trying. Maybe I'll start trying. Maybe 2023 is the year of Guru trying. Maybe then I'll show these guys up. This guy don't know what he's talking about, man. Who qualified you to make videos on MMA? Dude, have you ever had an MMA fight? What do you know? Me and the Weasle, the only two on this list without CTE, sitting at the tippy top. What a surprise, is all I'm going to say. So forget all your fight experience and your championship belts. How much brain damage you got? Because I got none. Actually, I got some from when I was a kid, but not a lot. And it directly correlates with this graph or table. Fuck, I should have said table. It's not a graph. But either way, there you go. That's the video on this done. Hope you enjoyed it. Check out the Fight Studies video. He broke it down. And also, Garn should have beaten Garnu, and I would have got bonus points there as well. And also, I picked Glover to beat Yuri as an underdog, and Yuri pulled it off out of nowhere. So this was like against me as well. And I still pulled it off at number 1. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Toodle Pip. I'll see you later. Goodbye.